The scene starts off with my boy Deadpool chilling on the side of this bridge, and you may be asking, what on earth is bro doing there? And to answer your question, you can see my boy drawing a very violent picture of himself smirking this guy named Francis. And the reason why he's looking for Francis is because bro is the reason why my boy is actually looking like Freddy Krueger. Like bro, I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. But that's when Deadpool locks in and sees his ops, and like a true menace, bro dives straight into their whip, and he starts getting active with maximum effort, and Deadpool is violating these bozos right now, and he throws bro out the car. He got him hanging on for life. Like, brother, let go of the whip, it's over for you. But my boy Deadpool's just laughing at bro's misery. Like, that's wild. I know Professor X is somewhere looking at bro with absolute shame right now. But that's when Deadpool asks if they seen Francis, but bro responds by slamming Deadpool's cranium into the radio several times, and we see Deadpool flipping this car over and making an absolute ruckus on the highway. Like bro, imagine coming back from work and seeing some maniac in a red suit doing karate moves on the highway. Like bro, I swear I'm busting some crazy GTA move and dipping out of New York and never coming back. And bro, this dude is so cooked right here. His survival chance is 0%. Like, he's slamming into the ground with a whole car on his back. He's absolutely done for. But we see the mercenaries making their way to Deadpool. That's when Deadpool tells them to wait. Hey, if y'all tell me where Francis is at, I promise not to violate y'all. Except you, your fit is trash. And bro did not like that at all and starts blasting away. That's when Deadpool tells us that he only got 12 bullets and that's all he needs. And Deadpool must have aimbot because he jumps out the car hitting this crazy maneuver and catches 2 bodies. And we see bro right here, and he got a whole scar on him and he still gets folded in seconds. Like bro, how are you that trash? And my boy really out here dancing on his ops mid battle, but this guy does not let that slide and he shoots bro straight in the booty hole. Not gonna lie, that is some crazy accuracy. But Deadpool was only joshing around and deals with bro pretty easily. And these 3 start shooting at Deadpool, and bro right here is like, hey, come here, we got him. But that's when Deadpool pulls up on these 3, and you can see bro's face. He knows he's done for, and he kills all of them with one single bullet. This dude is really him. And my boy is skipping around looking for Francis, but Francis is nowhere to be found. And that's when dude gets up, and Deadpool is highly disappointed because all he wants is to find Francis. Why are you rolling up your sleeves, bro? I'm about to pack you up. And that's exactly what bro does. He got this bozo up in the air like if he was his son. But that's when Deadpool spots his target, and he does not let bro get away, and he starts beating the living daylights out of bro. And Deadpool's having way too much fun because he full on teabags Francis like nah. But after he's done violating Francis, he nails him into the side of the highway, and that's when Deadpool asks Francis if he remembers who he is. But bro is lost. He got no clue who this man is. But that's when Deadpool pulls up his mask a little bit, and Francis remembers who he is. Damn bro, put your mask back on. My eyes are burning. But when Deadpool's about to get his long way to get back, this party pooper Colossus pulls up and ruins everything. And Colossus tells Deadpool that he gotta come with him because he's causing too much of a ruckus on the highway. But my boy Deadpool tells him that he got everything under control. Nobody even got hurt. Yeah, I don't know how bro got there, okay? But while Deadpool's crashing out on Colossus, that's when Francis decides to dip out because he has had enough of these shenanigans. And when Deadpool turns around and sees that bro is gone, he cannot believe it. And he's done with Colossus and his nonsense and swings on him. But all that happens is bro breaks his own hand. And my boy goes for seconds because he is not about to go out like that. And he ends up breaking his other hand. Brother, please stop embarrassing yourself. But Colossus is sick and tired of Deadpool making a fool of the X-Men and backhands bro into another dimension. And that's when he handcuffs Deadpool to his hand to make sure that he don't go nowhere. But my boy got a big brain and he starts cutting off his hand and is able to escape and outsmart the big metal man. And we see Francis arriving to his supervillain base, and he informs his right hand woman that Wade Wilson is back and is trying to get back. But Francis is not wasting any time, and after he tells Angel Dust about Wade, they go straight to the bar where Weasel is at and to ask him where they can find Wade. But that's when Angel Dust sees a picture of Wade and his girl Vanessa together. But Weasel is staying on business for my boy and not spilling any tea. And when they leave, that's when Weasel calls Wade to tell him that they're after his girl. And we see these two making their way to a club, but my boy Wade is stressed right now because he hasn't talked to his girl ever since he dipped out on her to cure his cancer. And Wade is walking through the club looking for his girl, and when he finds Vanessa, bro starts reminiscing about her and he's about to approach her, but my boy folds like a chair and goes straight to the bathroom. And my boy Wade is so disappointed in himself, he cannot believe he folded like that. But Wade looks at himself and he says maximum effort, so that's how you know he's not playing around no more. But Vanessa goes out to the back because her boss told her someone is looking for her, and that's when she sees sees a shadow and Vanessa thinks it's Wade, but nah, it's just this freak ass dude Francis. And Angel thus knocks her out silly with only a shove, which is kinda crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And Wade comes out the club to find Vanessa, but her ass is long gone and he starts crashing out. But that's when Wade gets a message from Francis telling him if he wants his boo back, he gotta pull up to the location he sent him. And that's when Wade tells Weasel to go get him all the guns in the crib. And this maniac really fills up a whole duffel bag with guns in it. And he even snatched up Blind L's Blicky. And this freaky ass dude liked that.
Brother's starving.
And my boy Deadpool goes to the X Mansion to recruit Colossus and her. I am not saying that long ass name. It is not happening. And that's when we see Deadpool and the X-Men pull up to the battlefield. And my boy DP is just itching to get his hands on Francis. He cannot wait any longer. And we see all three of them walking in perfect sequence. That's how you know they're locked in. And after aura forming for like 5 seconds, that's when Teenage Warhead tells Deadpool that his dumbass forgot his duffel bag in the taxi. So this bozo really has to call Dopinder mid-crisis. But this dude is more locked out than Deadpool because he can't even get a grip on his phone and ends up crashing his whip. Like, bro, come on, ain't no way. But Deadpool's like, man, screw the duffel bag. I can do this with 2 swords and maximum effort only. And that's when Francis sends Angel to handle business. And Colossus steps up, but he tells Angel that he prefers not to hit women. But that's when my boy gets sparked with a filthy overhand that sends his big ass flying. And Deadpool cannot believe that Colossus just got his shit rocked like that. So he tells Teenage Warhead she's next, but her ass is too busy texting the hoes right now. But eventually she locks in and charges straight into Angel. And Colossus finally gets up and Deadpool tells him to lock in and piece her ass up. And these two are tussling and Colossus starts getting some offense in. But it doesn't last too long because he starts getting pieced up shortly after. And Angel is cooking my boy so bad she even indented his forehead. Colossus weaves this cake and hits her with a crazy back shot, got her looking crazy mid-air. And my boy is finally asserting his dominance because he full on chokeslams her. He is not playing around no more. And Angel is trying to regain some respect, but Colossus just picks her up and starts slamming her repeatedly onto this car. And then he sends her silly ass flying. But when Colossus goes to finish the job, he peeps that her boobie is out. And like a true gentleman, he tells her, but she only uses his kindness to get a diabolical pee-pee shot on my boy. And look at dude, this is probably the most pain he's ever felt in his life. But Deadpool's ready to get his hands dirty and starts violating all these soldiers. They really stood no chance against my boy. But Teenage Warhead tells him to get on so she can help him get onto the carrier. And that's when Deadpool and Francis commence their fade, and they're pulling out some crazy maneuvers right now. And these two lock up, but Francis hits my boy with a headbutt, but Deadpool not about to let that slide without retaliation and hits him with a flying kick. But Francis is aura farming to the extremes right now and is looking like a true menace. And Francis throws his tomahawk, my boy really trying to get a trick shot mid-fade. But Deadpool catches it and throws it right back, but that was only a diversion because he comes in crazy with a flying spinning roundhouse like, bro, what is this man on? But that's when they start running a hand-to-hand combat sequence, and not gonna lie, Francis is piecing my boy up bad. Look how he got him. His legs are up in the air ready to get violated. And Francis pulls out a knife and Deadpool sees that and he gets on his A game and starts weaving everything. Hey bro, what are you doing? Get off me. That's when Francis shoves a knife through bro's cranium and starts pummeling him. But Vanessa sees her man in danger and not about to let that slide and stabs bro. She really stood on business for her man. But we see Colossus getting a manhandle right now like, bro, how are you gonna let her choke you out like that? Hell no. But Teenage Warhead sees her master in danger and she does her thing. But in the process of her blowing up Angel dust, she also causes the carrier to start collapsing on itself. But Deadpool and Francis do not care and they still running their once. My boy Deadpool even landing a nice drop kick on bro. But their squabble gets interrupted when Francis gets thrown off the carrier by container falling down. But that's when Deadpool goes to his boot and puts her into the oxygen chamber. But Deadpool tells Vanessa that he got everything under control and she do not need to worry. And with maximum effort, he's able to throw off the chamber with Vanessa in it. And not gonna lie, her ass should be cooked right here. But Colossus and Teenage Warhead are able to get Vanessa out the debris. And you can see Deadpool up ahead and his ass is exhilarated right now. Oh my god, can y'all believe what just happened? Shit is crazy. Ah! And this fraud Francis really spears my boy just to get his shit rocked as soon as they hit the ground. Like bro, that is embarrassing. But that's when Francis tells Deadpool that there's no cure for him. So since Francis is useless and can't fix my boy, Deadpool pulls out his secret strap and is about to finish the job. But that's when Mr. Goody Two Shoes comes in and tells Deadpool that he doesn't have to kill bro and he can do better. And even Francis don't want to hear bro's yapping. Like bro, he's trying to save your life. What are you on? But Deadpool does not care and gets rid of bro with no hesitation. And Deadpool asks Colossus what he should tell his girl. And bro was absolutely no help because he just tells him to figure it out. Like mans bro. But that's when Vanessa pulls up and starts punching bro. But Wade takes accountability for dipping out on her. And honestly, it it doesn't take too long for Vanessa to forgive him, and Wade tells her that he's not the same man she used to know. And when Vanessa takes off the mask and sees his face for the first time, she's like, God damn boy, you are chopped as shit. Nah, I'm kidding, of course. She accepted Wade for who he is now and tells him it's just a face. And these two start kissing, and that's where the movie ends, just like a true romance would.